There are signs in Washington that a compromise plan to raise the U.S. debt ceiling may be closer. Senate Democrats have put off a vote in order to allow all sides more time to negotiate. And Brendon O'Connor, Associate Professor in American Politics at the University of Sydney, says the Republicans have already won what has become a totally political argument.
It's an entirely political crisis we've got here. The United States has the ability to pay back its loans. There are people who would be very keen to lend the United States money, but it's an impasse. The House of Representatives, controlled by the Republicans, wants basically one set of things, and the Democrats, particularly the President, have wanted something somewhat different. So they've got to find a middle ground. Time's running out, and this is going to be something that will reflect badly on politicians in the US and probably the US itself if it doesn't solve this crisis.
Do you think the Republicans are being taken by surprise that the President is being so tough?
I think the President's been tough, wanting to hold to this 18-month increase in the debt ceiling, so he hasn't wanted a short-term solution, a 6-month solution, but I think he's caved in a lot. I think the Republicans have basically won this argument, but they don't quite know how to declare victory, because there's a group of Republicans aligned with the Tea Party who really want to go to fairly extreme measures to increase the debt ceiling, or don't even want to increase the debt ceiling at all. So I think the Republicans have tended to win the argument, and Obama is in some ways having to go with the Republican position on this largely.
And of course the big question here is who will blink first, the President or the Republicans?
I think there just has to be a compromise. I think that the game at the moment is in the Senate. There needs to be a bipartisan deal in the Senate. Mitch McConnell, the leader of the Republicans in the Senate, needs to bring on board Republicans to Harry Reid's plan, the Democrat in the Senate. Then they need to force the Speaker, John Boehner, to get together enough Republicans to vote for that bipartisan Senate deal and enough Democrats to come together. So it needs to be a middle ground solution. That's hard to craft at the 11th hour. We're really running out of time. But I think that's the only sane way out of this problem. There could be a short-term solution, which is about 3 or 4 days. So this will continue on next week. But I think the most sane way out of this is a kind of middle ground where both parties in the Congress provide votes for this.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Brendon O'Connor from the US Studies Centre.